We have been continuing to watch the radar throughout the day, and the good news is that we are starting to see a few areas that are getting some breaks. As you look to the south here, this is the most intense part of the rainfall that's in our area, moving through Terrebonne and moving south past Houma right now. But when we get the wider view here, what you're going to see is that the vast majority of the very strong storms have moved a little bit more north and west. That's where that new line has set up, and we are starting to see, looking back towards Mississippi and the Gulf Coast through St. Tammany Parish, a little bit of a break. Now, there is one storm that looks like it's just starting to develop here just north of where our radar is at the Weather Service office. So that's going to be moving by. And this is the kind of thing that we're going to continue to see throughout the night, where we have these showers and thunderstorms that we get a bit of a lull. We see a little area of maybe an outflow boundary where those are the strong winds from some of the earlier storms pick up and move together to create a new storm. But so far, things have been dry for a little while in St. Tammany, and we're looking at much lighter, much more moderate rainfall across parts of Orleans, St. Bernard, and the Plaquemines, and we really need that opportunity to allow any of the water that's still standing to begin to dry out. So Houma, they're still getting hit right now where they still have water. It's going to be a little bit harder for them to get that out of the streets. But in the next hour or so, we are going to see a little bit of a break, and that'll give us an opportunity to see things clearing up just a little bit. We have had such intense rainfall around for so long. Last couple of days, we've had some very heavy showers. Then today, so we saw the flash flood watch that was supposed to go into tonight moved to Sunday morning, as we are expecting in the forecast to continue to keep the opportunity for these 2 to 3 inches of rain in an hour to continue right through the day tomorrow, as it doesn't look like this little disturbance is going to move much for us at all. When we look at our Titan 3D radar, what that's going to show for us is that some of the reasons that we have seen such intense rainfall is that in some areas, as we've gone through these storms, we'll take a sideways view and show you that these have been some very tall, very intense storms right along the leading edge. That's the kind of activity we had right around the city earlier in the day, and now that's more so impacting areas to the west and allowing folks that are, say, in Assumption Parish, who are now under the newest flash flood warnings that have just been issued. Those are until 6:30. Current areas that are seeing the flash flood warnings go until 6:45, and that does include Tangipahoa and Washington parishes for the New Orleans area. And looking south again, this radar tells you a little bit more about that, so it gives you a little bit of an exaggerated view of how much storm activity is going on just this second. But what is really evident is that we have had some very incredible rainfall totals around. Some of the locations where we're seeing bullseyes have shown us as much as 7 inches of rain estimated in some locations, and we're getting calls in from our weather watchers that are very similar. I'll give you more details on what we have around the area, as well as what we can expect going into Saturday and Sunday. We'll keep our fingers crossed. We may start to see things drying out. I'll give you more details in just a few.
Hey, Nicandra, that's a fascinating graphic, the one you show with the sort of 3D, at least appearance in the cross-section. What's the significance for those of us who are laymen of those thunderstorms just towering up into the atmosphere?
Well, it's just an indication of how strong the winds are going into those storms. So one is an indication of how unstable the area is. And when you have those taller storms, in general, they are usually stronger storms, heavier rainfall, and just some very intense activity. Also gives you an opportunity for a lot more lightning. You've got a lot more moisture in there to work with in that air column.